Hi, we're Rich and Kim Greenwald, working with Rural America Ministry Network to strengthen and build churches and pastors across rural America. Hi there, Crossing Church. Thank you for letting us be a part of your missions conference. We're excited about what we're doing. When we were there last time, we told you that our goal is to reach, to resource, and to revive rural churches. And we're doing that here in Montana. It's been a cold, long, hard winter, but we're excited about spring coming, hopefully in the next few months, and we're going to hit it hard. One of the things that we're doing in the reaching component is we have worked to establish a school of ministry, and we're going to be launching that in the fall, where one Saturday every month we will be teaching classes in 4 different locations around Montana, sharing the concepts of rural ministry and basic teaching of ministry skills. And we're very excited about that. So thank you for partnering us with Reaching in that way.
Another way that we're working in our reaching component is we're partnering with couples across the United States that are desiring to plant new churches. And we've been laboring together with the Pettibones, a family from Lander, Wyoming, in planting the Orchards Church there in that community and helping provide just some building blocks and supplies that they need to be able to start their church there. So thank you for your efforts in supporting us and in prayer and in finance. It helps us to continue to work together and walk together with people that God are calling to plant churches throughout the United States.
Another part of what we're doing is resourcing churches, and a big part of that has to do with construction projects. We found that there's a lot of smaller rural churches that are really struggling with the ability to accomplish a construction project. Over the last few years, we found churches that are in need of new roofs. And so in the last 2 years, we've given over $10,000 to 3 different churches to be able to complete roofing projects on their churches, whether it was repair or replacement. And right now, I'm working to line up teams that are going to go in and help do construction in 4 different churches. So this summer is going to be a busy summer in the construction avenue of just lining up teams to go in and help. Some of those churches have all the funds that they need to complete the project. They just are short on manpower, and other churches are in need of financial help as well as manpower. And so we're trying to bring those things together to help these churches accomplish those things. While I'm speaking to you, we are also in the process of raising funds to develop a rural builders initiative, which would be an opportunity for us to have a pool of funds that we can offer matching grants to churches to finish building projects that are needed in their churches. And so that may take a few years in development, but that's what we're working towards so that we can have a sustainable ministry to help complete the building projects in these churches.
Another aspect of RAM Network is the network. We are excited to be able to partner with other organizations who already have established ministries. And one of those organizations is Convoy of Hope, and a department within Convoy of Hope is called Rural Compassion. And Rural Compassion is coming to Montana this spring. We're hoping to gather over 20 rural churches together. And with the resources that Rural Compassion will be bringing, we're desiring to have these pastors and their wives be able to take these resources home and in creative ways build bridges of communication and meet needs within their communities that can bring forth conversations about Christ. We also have another nonprofit working out of a city in Montana, Great Falls, and they have been receiving donations from a huge box store, Joann Fabrics, and Joann's has been giving them leftovers from seasonal decorations and such, and we're able to package those up in smaller bundles and offer those to rural churches so that they can decorate in their facilities or can be utilized by their pastors and wives to create gatherings and to have them look pleasant and be inviting for their congregations. It may not seem important, but in a rural context, a lot of times budget does not allow rural churches to have luxuries like decorations. And so we're very excited to, even in the simple things, be able to come alongside and in the network provide for rural churches so that they can do some very nice things for themselves and and in their communities.
The last component that we talk about in our ministry is the reviving component. And that's where I get the most excited because my heart is to encourage pastors, to help pastors and churches become all that God has intended for them to be. And so a part of that is this spring, I am starting 4 different groups again across Montana, walking through what we call the Acts 2 journey, which is taken from Acts 2:42 through 46, where it says they devoted themselves to the apostles' teaching and to the fellowship, to the breaking of bread and to prayer, and God added to the church daily those who were being saved. And that is a model for how church ought to be done. And so we're taking that and helping to revive churches through that process. And I'm very excited about that aspect. Another part of our reviving is just to help pastors that need a break. And in April, I will be filling in for a pastor that will be on sabbatical type leave for at least 3 months. And so we'll be up in Conrad, Montana, preaching each Sunday during that time and trying to help pastors and encourage them as we go.
Another aspect of encouragement is just being able to gather together. And with the expanse in rural areas being so great, a lot of times pastors' wives don't have opportunity to just have proximity to one another. So, one of the things that I'm doing this spring is hosting an online gathering with pastors' wives from all over the state of Montana. And we meet once a month and we're discussing the book, The Jesus Hearted Woman. And so, for an hour or longer each evening, one time a month, ladies from all over the state can gather together. And it has been very encouraging to walk through this book together and to be able to just have that fellowship, even if it's proximity on a screen. It's bringing them together and discussing something that's close to their heart. Another aspect of the reviving is being able to offer leadership training throughout rural areas to women who are desirous of working with elementary and teenage girls. And so throughout Montana, North Dakota, South Dakota, Wyoming, I've been able to help stand alongside the networks as well as the churches within those networks with women who are desiring to know how to gather these girls together and just feel like they would like to have some leadership training.
We believe that for healthy churches to exist, they need to have a healthy pastor, and a healthy pastor needs to have a healthy marriage and a healthy family. And so, one of the things that we have been able to be a part of this past year is our first rural pastors marriage retreat down in Alabama, and we took about 7 couples. We had mentor couples for them that had been married at least 40 years and involved in ministry. And together they were able to walk through some issues of marriage and ministry in the local church and just really strengthen that family unit. This year, we are planning another retreat down in Alabama, and we are adding one here in Montana. And so we're very excited about that. We want to build the pastors and their families and their churches across rural America.
So, reaching, resourcing, and reviving is something that is close to our hearts. And we really appreciate all that you are doing to come alongside us and help us to do that.